Hello dear student, I know it very well that you have prepared very well for periodic test 3 examination. So in the previous video, we have revised literature part 7.1 Topsy-Turvy Land and 7.2 Gulliver's Travel. Now we'll revise the grammar chapter number 12 Preposition and grammar chapter number 15 Active and Passive Voice. You will also get idea about how the format of question will be. Already revision worksheet is discussed to you, so you take the format from there only, and as well the way of questions, how it will be asked, will be also discussed in this video as well. So preposition and active and passive voice. So let's begin with the first chapter, that is preposition. Dear children, it's very easy to know, as you already know that preposition is a word that tells you the place of noun or pronoun where the particular thing is kept. Like the book is on table. So where is the book? It's on table. So on is telling you the place of the book. Means what? It's very easy to understand the noun and the pronoun's place with the help of preposition. So let's revise here the preposition as well, where to use it. I have already used the preposition here, as we will not have much time to fill in the blanks and all that. So I already fill the answers here, and this will help you where to use preposition and which one. Let's go with the first question. The man stare dash the book. So the man stare at the book. So when you are looking at some point, so that purpose we use the preposition at. When you are at particular place, that time also we use at only. Look at the next question. Whom should I give this later? So this is to whom. Alright. So the question comes, to whom should I give this later? So to is preposition here, and above at is preposition. Alright. This also can be used at last, as you have done the exercise number B in the same chapter. Like whom should I give this later to? So it can be also used at last. So where will be the fill in the blanks? At that place you have to use the particular preposition. Options also will be there. And the next important thing is how many dots are mentioned in that paper. That many prepositions you have to use it. Look at the third question. The police were looking for the escaped convict. Okay, convict, it can be a prisoner, a criminal we can say. So escape means who has run away from the jail, we can say. So they were looking for. Looking for is also a phrase. Whenever the word looking is used, for is basically attached to the looking verb. So that's phrase actually looking for. Let's go to fourth question. My school is very close to our house. From our house also can be correct, but to our house, it means that to our house is the school is near, and from our house means from your end you are speaking to the school. So that way it can be also correct, no problem. Let's go to fifth number question. The match is dash 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 of India. So it means what? The match is in favor of. In favor of. It means in the hand of someone. So the match was completely in favor of India means they will win the match. Alright, so here we have used complex preposition. Which you have used complex preposition, in favor of. Let's go to sixth question. Dash 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 my warning, he did the same mistake. So the answer will be in spite of. In spite of. In spite of my warning, he did the same mistake. So in spite of, complex preposition will come. Okay, so from that complex preposition you can learn the simple one preposition like in front of, in favor of, in spite of, at the top of. Some such a kind of preposition will be asked in the examination. Be prepared for that as well. Number 7. Geeta was afraid dash the dark. So afraid of is also a phrase we can directly use whenever the afraid word is coming. Of will be attached to it as a preposition. Number 8 we'll see. The students shouted dash 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 their voice when they saw a snake. So the answer will be at the top of. I repeat, the students shouted at the top of their voice. So voice is the point here. For that purpose you have taken at the top of their voice. Okay. Number 9th point we have, please don't park your car in front of hospital. So here in front of, 3 dashes will be given to you, and in that you have to use complex preposition. So please don't park your car in front of hospital. Have you got that preposition? Okay. So practice well all these prepositions. So you will surely come to know that how they are used. You can only do it when you will practice your exercise from textbook. Solve it correctly, read properly, and then give the examination. Let's go to the next 15 number chapter, active and passive voice. In the examination, how will be asked a question on this? You will be given a sentence, and ahead than that you will be given a line. You just have to write there, is it active voice or passive voice. So while writing in the notebook, as you solve cycle test in notebook, so you will solve in notebook, you will write the question number 2, 3, whatever it is. Question number 3, 1 you will write, and you will write passive voice or active voice. Alright. So write in this manner only. Look at the first question. Don't write the short form, sir. I have written here because in textbook there is no place, and here as well. So for that purpose I have not written the full forms. But whenever you will write the answer in the examination, write the full forms only. Very important. Okay. First question. Do you know how tea is prepared? So it is an example of passive voice. Exactly correct. And how to identify this? Look at this sentence. Is, prepare is used. Alright. Who is preparing? That is not given. Subject is not mentioned again. And to be form, is, am, is, are, have, has, was, were is given. Is given. And V3 form is given. Definitely example of passive voice. Is prepared. Alright. Let's go numbers 2. He speaks English very well. Example of active voice, because verb only V1 is given. Speak V1, V3 is not given, and before that to be form is not used. Subject is also mentioned, he, and that's why example of active voice. Number 3 will go for she cooks. She cooks the food quickly. She cooks the food quickly. Now in this, subject is mentioned there, she, and cooks V1 form is mentioned, and for that purpose it is an example of again active voice, because she, subject is mentioned, cooks. Alright, the subject is doing the action on the verb, and that's why example of active voice. Number 4, prizes were awarded to the winners. So prizes were awarded to the winners, but who has awarded them? Not known. For that purpose, example of passive voice. Subject is not mentioned, first thing, and second thing is were awarded. To be form plus V3 form is clearly mentioned, and for that purpose example of passive voice. To be form plus V3 form. Practice of this very much. It's very easy to identify active and passive voice. Alright. Number 5. The boys were flying kites all day long. The boys were flying. Subject, the boy is given, and action, flying given. Kites. Alright. The boys flying kite. Verbs. Verb is given. Boys, subject is given, and for that purpose example of active voice. Clear? See, now here were is given, but V3 form is not given like this. If it could have been flew, then definitely example of passive voice. But here it's not given. It is an example of active voice. Number 6. All the tickets for the show were sold in an hour. Were sold. Look at this, were and sold. To be form plus V3 form is mentioned, were sold. That's why example of passive voice. Number 7. Refreshments were given at 4 p.m. Can you tell the answer? Yes, it is an example of passive voice, because to be form were and given, V3 form is given, and for that purpose example of passive voice. Refreshment were given, but it's not mentioned that who has given and to whom it is given. So definitely example of passive voice. Subject not mentioned. Number 8. You must not talk to anybody during an examination. You must not talk to anybody during an examination. So you must not. You is given subject. Talk is only V1, verb form 1. And you is subject working on the verb talk. Definitely example of active voice. Alright. Number 9. Results will be announced after 50 days. Results will be announced. Who will announce? The subject is not mentioned and will be announced. To be form plus with 3 form is mentioned. Example of passive voice. Alright. Number 10. The instructions were given about the examination. Now here the instructions were given. Were. To be form is mentioned. Given with 3 form is mentioned. Alright. So dear children, please note that whenever the to be form plus with 3 form is mentioned, definitely an example of passive voice. So were given, to be form plus with 3 form, were given is mentioned there, and for that purpose it is an example of passive voice. The instructions were given. Alright. And who has given instructions? Subject is not mentioned here. So for that purpose you must have to use passive voice only. Alright. I hope dear children you have got the point of passive voice as well, active and passive voice. Please practice very well the prepositions and active passive voice. Solve the exercise given in textbook. Read all the examples given in textbook. Okay. All the best for the examination. Prepare very well. Good luck. Thank you so much.